Hello, today we're doing module 3, lesson 2, and we are going to be working with adding and multiplying fractions and expressing those on a number line. So on our homework, problem number 1 shows 4/9 plus 1/9. Okay, so if we're doing a number line, we label one end 0 and one end 1. Now, because our denominator is 9, we need to divide this into 9 intervals. And I say intervals because we're counting the space, not the line. So this is 1 interval, 2 intervals, 1, 2, 3 intervals, 4 intervals, 5 intervals, 6 intervals, 7 intervals, 8 intervals, and then I already have the 9th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, but I only drew 8 lines. So just keep in mind that when you're drawing, be sure to count. The space is what you're counting. If you have 9 spaces for this, you're right. So we're going to label this 0/9, 1/9, 2/9, 3/9, 4/9, 5/9, 6/9, 7/9, 8/9, and 9/9. Okay, so the question says we're adding 4/9 plus 1/9. So we start at 0, jump to 4/9, and then we go 1 more 9th. So 4/9 plus 1/9 equals 5/9. Okay. Now we're going to look at problem D, which has a little bit of multiplication in it. And it's not as tricky as it seems. Okay, so we're going to do our number line. Here we go, 0. And we're going to go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and this is 2. And then we could keep going, but we're going to stop at 2. All right, so our denominator is fifths. So this is 0/5, 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5. Okay, that's one whole. Now, you can do this one of 2 ways. You can keep counting and go 6/5, 7/5, 8/5, 9/5, 10/5. So 10/5 equals 2. Or because you hit a whole number right here and you've divided it into fifths, this can be 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, and this would be a whole again, 5/5. Okay, so the problem is 3/5. So we go to 3/5, but we have to do that 2 times. So we go 1, 2, 3. So now we're at 6/5, or 1 1/5. I guess it would make it easier if I did this, maybe 1. Okay, okay, so that's our 1, That's our 3/5 twice. 2 times 3/5 plus 1 more fifth. Okay, so our answer is 7/5 if we want to leave it as an improper fraction, or if you want to write it as a mixed number, it's 1 and 2/5. Okay. Okay. The next part of the homework asks us to express these fractions as a sum of 2 or 3 equal fractional parts. And then we need to rewrite them as a multiplication equation and do a number line. So there's quite a few things here. It's just this one little piece of information. So let me look here real quick. Okay. So when you think of 6 and how you can divide it into equal parts, the parts have to be equal. So you know you can always count by 2's because this is an even number. So 2/11 plus 2/11 plus 2/11 equals 2, 4, 6, 6/11. You also know that the double fact, 3/11 plus 3/11 would also equal 6/11. Okay, you cannot do 1/11 plus 5/11. No. And you can't do 4/11 plus 2/11. No. Okay, we need the parts to be equal. So that's why I have 3 2's and 2 3's. Okay. We are going to rewrite this as a multiplication problem. So you know that multiplication is part times number of parts. Okay, so here we have 1, 2, 3 parts, and the number in each part is 2/11. Okay, and here we have groups. We could do groups. Let's call this groups because that's okay. So we have 2 groups of 3/11. So that's how you would write that as a multiplication problem. And then if we had to do a number line, okay, we're going to 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this is 0/11, 1/11, 2/11, 3/11, 4/11, 5/11, 6/11, 7/11, 8/11, 9/11, 10/11, and 11/11. Okay, so the problem says 3/11 2 times. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we end up right here at 6/11, which we already knew we should have. Okay, we could also do it with the 2's. Okay, 2/11. How many times? 3. So we could go 1, 2, 3. So this this top one is this one, and the bottom one is this, but they equal the same thing. They both equal 6/11. We can work on that one some more. It might be a little confusing, maybe not, but the important thing to remember is that it's a basic multiplication. It's groups times the size of the group. So we have 3 groups, and the size of the group is 2/11. And then this is how many times we jump. This is how many groups we have. This is the size of the group. Okay, so this tells us how many times we jump. 3/11 twice. Okay. Let's try another one here. Okay. 9/4. Okay, we know we have to divide this into equal parts. Well, we know that this is an odd number, so 2's aren't going to work. But we do know that 3 groups of 3 equals 9. So we could do 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4. Okay, denominator stays the same. The top, 3, 6, 9, when added together, equals this numerator. Okay, so 3 equal parts. If we wanted to write this as a multiplication problem, how many groups do we have? We have 3 groups. How big is each group? 3/4. Okay, now we'll draw a number line for that. 0. Okay, so I need to draw enough lines that I'll at least get to 9/4. And if I'm not sure, I can always do it like label them. Whoops, and see, Mrs. Essig messed up. That's a 1. 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, 8/4. Now right there, I did exactly what I told you guys not to do. I counted the lines instead of the spaces. Okay, so there's our number line. So we know that we are going to jump 3 times to 3/4. So 1, 2, 3, there's 1 jump. 1, 2, 3, there's 2 jumps. 1, 2, 3, there we ended at 9/4. Okay, so you can write your answer. Well, obviously it's 9/4, but you could also write it using a mixed number. So here's our whole, which is 2. And then 8 to 9 is just one more hop. So it's 2 1/4. So 9/4 equals 3 times 3/4, but that also equals 2 1/4. Okay, this is probably going to take some practice, and that's okay. Let's try another one. Okay. They did a bunch of them on here, and I just want to make sure we Okay, let's do 9/5. Express each as the sum. Whoops, sorry about that. It says express each as the sum of a whole number in a fraction. Okay, so basically they want us to write it as a mixed number. Okay. So if we were to write this out as equal parts, 3/5 plus 3/5 plus 3/5. Okay, how many groups do we have? We have 3 groups, and each group is 3/5. Okay, so let's see. Okay, there's 1. And there's 2. Okay, Mrs. Essa, why did you choose 5s as the denominator? Because that's what it is on a problem. Okay, so each whole number is going to have 5 intervals in it. And I'll just do one more. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this is 3, which makes this 15. Whoops. Okay, so there's our number line. Now, we're going to go 3/5 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we're looking at the spaces between here and here, the intervals. So we know we have one whole, because it's past the 1, but not quite to the 2. Then we need to count how many intervals there are until we get to 9/5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 1 4/5 is the same as 9/5, which is the same as 3 times 3/5. Woo, that's a mouthful. Okay, and we will do one last one. Let's see. I'm going to leave you some to do on your own, but I know this is kind of new, so I don't want to not give you enough examples, especially if you are watching this at home without your class and need to help you. Okay, so 7/2. We cannot divide 7 equally. So it doesn't go into equal parts. 0. So this is half, 2 halves, 3 halves, 4 halves, 5 halves, 5 halves, 6 halves, 7 halves, 8 halves. I'll just stop right there. Okay, so every 2 intervals is a whole number. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so we are going to go 7 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we land right here. So the intervals we're looking at are here to here. Okay, we landed after the 3, but before the 4, so our whole number is 3. And there's only 2 intervals here. And so we hit 1, so this would be 1/2. 3 and 1/2 is the same as 7 halves. All right, hopefully that's enough examples to help you out. If not, I'm happy to work some more with you. Let's see. I want you to go ahead and do your exit ticket. If you're at home and you didn't come to class today, I want you to do your exit ticket. There's 4 problems there. And I also, if you're at home, let's see, at home, you need to do your exit ticket, which I'm going to have to pull up for you. And you need to do problem number 3, C and D in the homework. Actually, let's just do that. Forget this. Do problem 3, C and D, problem 4. I should have looked at this. Let's see. C and D. Okay, so here's your assignment. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 problems. You are doing 1 C and D, 2 C and D, 3 C and D, and 4. So that is your assignment. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Your assignment is in the, what is today? The Tuesday, January 26th folder. It's a CAMI assignment, and everything should be numbered for you and ready to go. So you can punch in the numbers, draw your number lines, do all that good stuff right in there. All right.